So it's been a wild couple of days for Nikola stock. First, Nikola popped about $15 a share on the news that it was partnering with GM. Then, 2 days later, the stock has almost lost all of its gains on the back of a short seller report by Hindenburg alleging that Nikola is a fraud, and as investors have time to digest the details of the GM Nikola deal. I read through the entire short seller report, and on this video, I'll give my opinion on what's going on with Nikola. Spoiler alert, I'm generally not a big fan of short seller reports, as they are obviously biased and motivated by profits. But I'm in no rush to buy Nikola on the dip. Let's get started, right now. First of all, let's talk about the timing of the release of this short report. Timing allows short sellers to control the narrative by implying that recent actions of the company are somehow a part of, or proof of, their short thesis. For instance, if your short thesis involves accounting fraud, why not wait patiently for a change in the company's CFO or controller, and then unleash your accounting fraud thesis immediately afterwards, implying your accounting fraud thesis is the cause of the CFO change. End phase. In this case, Hindenburg had been building its thesis that Trevor Milton had been misleading Nikola investors with false statements for years, and now was the perfect time where all of the parts of the short thesis align for the biggest impact. Certain of the Hindenburg claims are: Nikola is an intricate fraud built on dozens of lies over the course of its founder and executive chairman Trevor Milton's career. Trevor continued to publicly hype its battery technology that it knew was vaporware. The revolutionary battery technology never existed. Now, Nikola plans to use GM's battery technology instead. In addition to now using GM's battery technology, Nikola seeks to use the automaker's production and fuel cell capabilities. Nikola seems to be bringing nothing to the partnership but concept designs, their brand name, and up to $700 million they will be paying GM for costs related to production. Inexpensive hydrogen is fundamental to the success of Nikola's business model. Trevor has claimed in a presentation to hundreds of people and in multiple interviews to have succeeded at cutting the cost of hydrogen by 81% compared to peers and to already be producing hydrogen. Nikola has not produced hydrogen at this price or at any price, as he later admitted when pressed by the media. Nikola had an electricity cable snaked up from underneath the stage into the truck in order to falsely claim Nikola One's electrical systems fully functioned. Nikola's touted multi-billion-dollar order book is filled with fluff. US Express reportedly accounts for a third of its reservations, representing $3.5 billion in orders. US Express had only $1.3 million in cash on hand last quarter. Nikola's key partners and backers have been cashing out aggressively. Worthington, Bosch, Value Act have all sold shares. Worthington sold 237 million shares over a 2-day span in July and another 250 million in August. We think they know exactly what type of company Nikola is, and we expect that Nikola's GM partnership boosts the stock price. Key holders will continue to exit. And well, I can't blame these guys. If I was up huge on a speculative investment like Nikola, I would cash out and diversify as well. There are certainly plausible explanations for this other than Nikola is a fraud. Nikola's video of the Nikola One semi-truck cruising on a road at a high rate speed was an elaborate ruse. Nikola had the truck towed up the top of a hill on a remote stretch of road and simply allowed it to roll down the hill. Trevor has ensured he is not going down with the ship. He cashed out $70 million around the IPO and amended his share lockup from 1 year to 180 days. If he is fired, his equity awards immediately vest, and he is entitled to collect $20 million over 2 years. Milton has laid the groundwork to extract hundreds of millions from Nikola years before ever delivering on his promises. So here, Hindenburg waited patiently for the GM Nikola deal announcement, which they used to put a bow on their short thesis. After all, if Nikola had valuable proprietary fuel cell and battery technologies, why would they need to give GM 11% of their business to use GM's technologies? According to Hindenburg, the answer is that Nikola didn't have any valuable EV or hydrogen tech in the first place. The timing of the release of this report by Hindenburg is a very smart move. Which leads me to my main opinion about the Hindenburg Report. What else is new? I suspect investors had largely already made up their minds before this report. Half already think Nikola is vaporware. The other half think Trevor and Nikola are on the verge of a hydrogen revolution. I don't see how compiling a bunch of hearsay and unproven theories into a paper posted on the internet is going to change people's minds. Plus, Hindenburg's points are largely moot anyways. So what if Nikola had no battery or hydrogen technology? Guess what? They're going to use GM's tech now anyways. So whatever tech Nikola may or may not have had hardly matters anymore. All this is to say that in my opinion, the real news comes from the GM Nikola deal, not some short seller report. The GM Nikola deal makes it blatantly obvious that GM had all of the leverage. GM gets 11% ownership of Nikola in exchange for like-kind services, and gets to make even more money from Nikola from building the Nikola Badger. 11% of a $14 billion company seems a bit high for like-kind services. It sounds to me like GM knew it had all the leverage and knew it could easily take an arm and a leg. Nikola basically brought a controversial brand, a few truck designs, and some graphical renderings to the table. Hey YouTube, want to give me free Google stock in exchange for paying me to make YouTube videos? It just seems ridiculous. Meanwhile, I hope GM does a better job with Nikola's Badger than it did with the Chevy Bolt. In case you're wondering, no, I have not been buying GM stock due to its killer EV tech. This GM Nikola deal turns investing in Nikola into betting on GM's EV tech. The thing is, do you think GM is going to put more effort into Nikola's Badger or its all-electric Hummer? Oh, and is there any reason to believe GM's electric vehicles won't underperform and be extremely expensive when compared to Tesla's? Especially now, given both GM and Nikola are going to receive a markup on the Badger? On the other hand, there are undoubtedly some advantages of the GM Nikola deal. First, since the Badger pickup will be built at a GM plant, it doesn't have to commit billions of dollars setting up a manufacturing plant. Second, Nikola and GM will save up to $4 billion in electric vehicle costs through this partnership, and Nikola will be able to tap GM's deep expertise in EV technology and vehicle manufacturing. It will allow Nikola to leverage GM's buying power for batteries and internal capabilities within fuel cells, and will allow both GM and Nikola to operate at greater economies of scale, reducing overall costs per vehicle. All in all, my view on Nikola stock has not changed as a result of the short seller report. If I believe hydrogen will be the future of trucking in the next 5 to 10 years, Nikola may make sense as a speculative bet. Do I think Nikola has a bright future if it is merely an EV producer using GM's tech? Not really. Do I want to pay a $15 billion market cap to make a speculative type of bet on hydrogen trucking? Not really. Not at this price. If you got any value from this video, go ahead and smash that thumbs up button. It really helps the YouTube channel and means a lot to me. Thanks for watching, and have a great day.